Welcome to round 3. 3 of these 4 teams return to round 3 for a second straight year. Montreal joins the top 4 this year. The 4 divisions have sent their best to compete in the Final 4. Let us start today with Tampa and New York as my first preview in the next couple hours. It's going to be a very interesting top 4 and a rematch for Tampa and the Islanders. First, let's look at our bracket here. It's completely shattered. I am 3 for 12 on predictions so far. 9 of the 12 matchups have gone to the lower seed. So seeding definitely not a huge factor at all this year. The 2 teams I had making it to the finals both lost. So as we are in the top 4, none of my final 4 made it to the final 4. So a very interesting story here indeed. Alright, let's start with Tampa and New York. Alright. So game 1 is on Sunday, June the 13th in Tampa at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. That is 12 p.m. Pacific for you on the West Coast. So the Tampa Bay Lightning, 36-17-3 in the regular season. They defeated the Panthers in 6 games and the Hurricanes in 5 games, both as the lower seed, with an 8-3 record. Their goals for 38 goals and they allowed 26 for a +12 differential. Their points leaders, Nikita Kucherov, 18 points, he leads the league. Steven Stamkos, 13 points. Braden Point, 8 goals, 12 points. Alex Killorn with 12 points. Victor Hedman with 11 assists. Goaltending, Vasilevsky, 8-3, 934 save percentage. He's had a very good postseason, but a couple hiccups where he allowed 4 goals, maybe 5 goals. But the most important thing when he does allow 4 or 5 goals is that the team plays great in front of him and they manage to keep it close, if not win the game. Their power play, 41.7%. That improved from last round where it was 40% and now it's 41.7%. So an even better power play clip they had against the Hurricanes. That is first in the league. Penalty killing is 77.8%. That is better than last round by about 5%. That is 8th in the league. They have no notable injuries. For the Islanders, 32-17-7, 71 points. They defeated Pittsburgh in 6 games and Boston in 6 games for an 8-4 record. They have scored 43 goals, which is the most out of all the postseason teams. The teams in the postseason, they have the most. I believe second in the league is 40, so they do have that. They do have that goal scoring talent. It's something we didn't expect. And they allowed 33 for a +10 differential. Their points leaders, J.G. Pageau with 13 points. What a postseason he's had. Josh Bailey, 11 points. And Anthony Beauvillier with 11 points. Brock Nelson with 10 points. Kyle Palmieri with 7 goals, 9 points. Goaltending, we have Ilya Sorokin, who just played 1 game in the last series against Boston. He lost his only game that he played, but he still has a 4-1 record, 934 save percentage. Varlamov won all 4 games against Boston. He went 4-1 in round 2 with now an aggregate total of a 4-3 record, a 2.62 goals against average, 925 save percentage. So each goaltender has single-handedly won all 4 games in one series. We haven't seen that since the goaltending tandem of Patrick Waugh and Hayward. So that's very interesting. Their power play is 28.1%, which is 4th in the league. Their penalty killing is 61.5%, which is 14th in the league. Yeah, Boston had a great power play against them. Dal Cole and Wallstrom are out for the Islanders. Alright, so before I go over my prediction, I'm going to go over some storylines here. So, the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Islanders, they meet in the third round for the second straight season. Last year, the Lightning eliminated the Islanders in 6 games in the Eastern Conference Final, and then they went on to win the Cup. The Islanders have that unfinished business, as Josh Bailey said in an interview. This will be the first time the Islanders and Lightning play each other this season, because all teams were limited to playing against divisional opponents in the first round of the playoffs. This is the 5th time in 7 years the Lightning have advanced past the second round. Vasilevsky had a shutout in each series-clinching win this year. The Lightning have Nikita Kucherov leading the league in the playoffs with points, first in the power play. Looks like everything is going well for the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Islanders, they feel like they've played their most complete game of each series in these playoffs in Game 6. And they have gone down 2-1 in the series a couple times in both rounds. In those high-intensity situations, it does seem like they show up pretty well. Alright, so let's look at some X factors here, potentially. We have Braden Point for Tampa, who has 12 points in 11 games. And he has done big things in big moments, able to generate breakaways or odd man rushes. For the Islanders, Matthew Barzal had a 4-game point streak and a 3-game goal streak in a 6-2 win against the Bruins on Wednesday. He has scored 6 points in his last 4 games, so he's doing great. He can slump at times, but he can go at a torrid pace when he breaks out. Goaltending, Vasilevsky, 29 save shutout in Game 5 against Carolina, and also had a shutout against Florida in Game 6. For the Islanders, I mentioned how their goaltending tandem have won 4 games each. Another interesting thing for the Islanders is that they haven't had a lead after the first period in any game this postseason, but are 7-1 in games tied going into the intermission. Because they have outscored the opposition 18-8 in the second period. New York has been outshot in 9 of its 12 playoff games, but is 6-3 in those games. So, the Islanders are a truly remarkable team in that facet. Now, let's go over the prediction here real quick. Yes, I do have some shocking picks here for round 3, and this is one of them right here. I picked the Islanders to win this in 6 games. I think it's the defensive-minded hockey from the Islanders that give Tampa their biggest challenge yet. That's the stereotype we give them. We give them the stereotype of them being a boring team. But under the radar, they've scored the most goals in any of the 16 teams in the postseason. As I said, they're the battle of leads after periods, it being tied, the Islanders keeping it close. That's the big thing about the Islanders. They might go behind, but they never go down without a fight. That's the thing. I think the Islanders do something the Hurricanes didn't do, is that the Islanders have what it takes to come back in a game, and not just come back, but take the lead in a matter of minutes. The Islanders have scored throughout their lineup more than Tampa. They have 11 players with 5+ points and 8 with 7+. For Tampa, they have just 8 players with 5+ points and just 5 with 7 points. Their 5th best player is 11 points, Victor Hedman, with 11 points. Their next player down the list in points is just 6 points. I will have the discussion about grit versus talent. The Lightning, it's not a question that they have a lot of talent in that group. The Islanders, they never had that star player. It's all a bunch of very, very good players throughout the 4 lines. Yes, Tampa has that, but it's more the first 2 lines that are getting it done for them. The Islanders, from first line to 4th line, every line is effective. I think that's their path to winning this series. And there's some pressure on Tampa because they're defending Cup champions, and they do seem like the better team on paper here. The Tampa Bay Lightning, if they're to win this, their power play needs to continue to succeed. And against the Islanders' penalty killing, which is 61.5%, that is a problem for the Islanders. But they've remained disciplined. They've been just shorthanded just an average of 3 minutes and 13 seconds per game, which is the lowest among playoff teams. Tampa Bay's penalty killing has also been strong against Carolina, and the Lightning need to keep getting contributions from all 4 forward lines. Yes, they have done that, but not as much as the Islanders. And they will need to stay healthy, of course. Right now, they're in a good situation. Now, I am picking this prediction about the Islanders in 6 based on a little bit of a gut feeling, because it's hard to see this being as predictable as we think it will be. I think the Islanders are built for playoff hockey, to be honest, because of their depth throughout their lineup, their defensively minded hockey stereotype matched with that offensive talent that they have. We've seen them have stretches where they fall down 1-0, 2-0, but they come back with a vengeance. For Tampa Bay, they've done almost just that, and especially against Carolina in that game where Carolina had the 4-2 lead. Now we'll see if these teams will score in bunches or not. Do I think this will be an offensive series? Not every game, that's for sure. Goaltending has been amazing for both sides, and I don't see this being an offensive scoring bonanza, but maybe 1 or 2 games that will happen. If it opens up, it favors Tampa. But if New York can shut down those first line and that second line, I think they're in pretty good shape. So let me know what you think the reason for your prediction is in the comment section below. I know a lot of you guys will probably pick Tampa, and they're probably much of a favorite to win this series. And yeah, Tampa seems like everything is flying on all cylinders for them. The Islanders, they're on a pretty good run as well. If this series goes long, it favors the Islanders. That's all I'll say. Alright, so that's going to be it for my preview. Stay tuned for our preview for Vegas and Montreal coming soon. Sunday we'll have our recap for the 4th week of playoff hockey, which will go all over. We'll go over round 2, and we'll look forward to what's ahead in round 3. So we have some great playoff hockey coming up. We have today and Saturday off to, rest ourselves, recuperate after some post-pounding hockey. Alright, so that's it from me. We'll see you later, and take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.